Founded in 2007, Homage started as a small startup and scaled into one of the biggest lifestyle brands in the country, from vintage style apparel to iconic sports collaborations, and the ability to turn nostalgia into something that people actually want to wear proudly. Joining us today from Homage is Mark Jaworski. Welcome to Unfiltered Brew.
Awesome,
Welcome
thanks.
to Unfiltered Brew, Mark.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here. Excited to come back home to Cleveland. So.
And also, this is our first time shooting out of this room.
It's somewhat weird.
So we're really
It's
excited.
amazing.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There's some decorations to come, but it's exciting to be in here.
Yeah, so Mark, why don't we start off by you telling us what your role is with Homage and how you started with your journey with Homage?
Oh, it's been a journey. I've been there for 14 years. I started in June of 2012. I think that's 14. And I started as a part-time employee working at our Easton Center. Easton's a lifestyle mall in Columbus. And they were opening a store. I needed a summer job and got plugged in through one of my friends who also worked at the company. And things just kind of took off from there. We were talking a little bit about doing events and stuff around town, and like I had a lot of experience doing that with Homage, doing that with a radio station in Columbus. Today, I work on the marketing team. I'm the director of marketing operations, so I build our marketing calendars. I try to make sure everyone's moving in the same direction on all the different projects that we have. I work a lot with partners. And there's no shortage of partner opportunities and things like that. So that keeps me pretty busy. But yeah, in a nutshell, that's more or less what I do. A little bit of everything at times, but that makes it fun.
I mean, you've been with them for 13 years.
14, but
14, yeah.
It's a long, like looking back, it doesn't feel like that. And then you kind of have a beat where you look back and, suddenly it's like, wow, it has, and, even like, COVID was definitely very much a watershed moment for our company, one of a few, I would say. That doesn't feel that long ago, but that was 2020 was 6 years ago now. So
crazy.
It's flown by for sure.
So tell us about Homage. Tell us how would you describe the brand to someone that's never heard of it? Like, what's the story behind Homage?
I think Nora did a great job in the intro, bringing kind of this fandom to life in ways, hopefully that people want to wear on a T-shirt, I think is a really great way to put it. You said it better than I did just now, but I think the gist of it is trying to tell stories that are meaningful to people. A lot of the stories I have come from Cleveland sports growing up. As an Indians fan, as a Guardians fan, Cavs and Browns, and I just think about like my dad taking me to games when I was a kid. I couldn't tell you who won or lost or who the players were even, but I do remember fireworks night at, old Cleveland Stadium in the summer when, the Indians were playing.
Do they still do the dollar dog night?
I don't know.
Fridays?
I don't know if it's a dollar. And maybe it is, but it's just like those kind of moments that you have with your friends and family. And a lot of times sports is kind of the feature. The background or the context behind a lot of that stuff. And so it's just great for making memories. And I think, people across the country, whatever teams they root for, whatever communities they're a part of, they have similar experiences, just maybe with different teams, or different movies. We have a lot of pop culture, apparel as well, but,
It started with sports.
Yeah, largely I would say so. Yeah, for sure.
And like the name Homage itself means to pay tribute and respect to something or someone. So does that play a role in the company's like core values?
Definitely. Yeah, I think most projects we do like kind of go through that filter. Like, what's the story here? How is this meaningful to people? What are we trying to do? A lot of brands can put a logo on a shirt, and we do that too. And that's great. And people will buy that, if that's what people want to buy. But I think what we always are thinking about when we're building our product assortments is kind of the stories behind them. Yeah. What makes this something special to someone? What's going to spark that? Oh yeah, I remember that game. Or I was with my dad when this happened. Or like my mom, took me to the mall to get this person's autograph. Maybe it was Travis Hafner. Who knows? But like, there's all that stuff comes together. When we're thinking about how we're trying to build assortments. We don't always get it right every
Yeah.
single time. Like we've released stuff that maybe we look back and it's like, oh, that didn't go over.
Like what? Give us like a collection you released that you thought would do
Okay.
well, but flop.
There's a time. I'll say this. There's a time and place for everything.
Yeah.
I don't want to throw any certain thing under the bus.
Well,
There's
you
a
gotta
time,
have a favorite.
a favorite thing that didn't work or a favorite thing that did work.
Both. Let's hear it all.
Well, I know we were also we mentioned earlier today was the 10th anniversary
Yes.
of the Cavs championship. When LeBron wore our T-shirt, when they landed in Cleveland on Monday after the series was over, and he got off the plane, was holding up the trophy. He was wearing the Homage Ultimate Warrior shirt. Now it's a troll because we beat the Warriors, so he was the Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah.
But like
It's iconic.
seeing that happen, I was with my sister, my mom, and my dad. We were at a restaurant. We walked in. They had a little TV in the corner behind the bar. And it's like, oh, they just landed. Like, let's watch this. And like all the players get off, and J.R. Smith gets off. He's not wearing a shirt or anything. And then LeBron gets off, and I was like, shit, that's our shirt. Like this, like how did we know? We didn't know this was going to happen. And I got my phone out to text my boss, and before I could even text him, he was texting everybody. He's like, oh, LeBron just wore our shirt, so buckle up.
So you guys were not aware.
No, we didn't have no idea.
Oh, that even makes it.
Yeah.
So how did that make you feel when you saw that? Like, what were some like emotions going through your head?
It felt like a big coming of age moment, I think, for the brand. This is 2016, so we would have been 9 years old, I suppose, at the time.
Yeah.
And so it was, and we had worked, and we still like have a relationship with the LeBron James Family Foundation. And we had done stuff with the foundation off and on over the years. So we had a relationship there. And we've donated stuff to the to the I Promise school and things like that. So
That's LeBron's.
School.
Yeah. So
yeah.
like there was a relationship there. We didn't have any direct relationship with LeBron. We think Kevin Love ordered some stuff off our site. He's a big WWE fan.
Oh, you guys do have a license with WWE.
Yeah.
right?
So we think he ordered some stuff off of our site that Memorial Day. I can't confirm it. I have no idea. It wouldn't surprise me if like he ordered some stuff and like just happened to give something to him. But yeah, so it just felt like I said, a coming of age moment for us. Because especially with LeBron of all athletes, like he's definitely very particular about what he wears. I mean, because there's just so much scrutiny on who's he hanging out with, where's he going, what's he doing.
Speaking of hanging out, they were just in London. They all got back. They all got together.
Oh, really?
All the
I didn't. Okay, I missed that.
16
Like
players.
A little
yeah,
reunion.
yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So tell us, like, what is it like working with all these major big leagues and these players?
That's a good question because we've kind of inched our way along over the years. Like we got an NBA license first, and then a year later we got the Major League Baseball license, and a few years after that it was NFL. And I think if you would have asked me that question, what would you envision it being like?
Yeah.
Would be very different. I would have thought it would be a lot of just red tape and endless amounts of approvals and maybe not as willingness to try out
Like
ideas.
no room for creativity.
Exactly. Yeah. And you've just got to maybe you have a very narrow lane and you've kind of just, that's what you get. And I would say it's been the opposite of that. Like the leagues, like they want to be innovative too, right? They don't want to be, they're competing with each other in a lot of ways for viewership. And, if someone's going to buy one jersey, jerseys are expensive. Is it going to be an NFL jersey? Is it going to be an NBA? Like what league are they gravitating? So like the leagues are incentivized to do things like that. And so I think the relationships have reflected that, especially with the NFL. Like the NFL has been great to work with. Like they come to us a lot for different projects that they want to try to do. They're very open to ideas, working with players and stuff like that. So it's been a lot of fun. I think it's been, a lot more room for our team to kind of, flex some creative muscle, more so than I would have thought it would have been like, which has been neat.
Walk us back to the process of obtaining your first ever license. And you said it was the...
we had the NBA license first. I think, with just some of the ideas that we
Like, how does that
pitched
process
the
look
NBA.
like? Did you have to approach them?
Did they come
Yeah,
to you?
it's us approaching them. And look, the leagues, they are big entities. So like the minimum guarantees for, different, contracts, agreements and stuff like that. Like, hey, you can work with us, but like there's a minimum amount that you've got to pay us. And that's all generated through sales of shirts. But like, if you don't sell enough, then it becomes
loss,
an issue.
right.
Yeah.
And then you've also got to demonstrate the ability to be able to sell, all 30 teams, or in NFL's case, all 32 teams. Like, hey, we're an Ohio brand. We can't just sell Cavs stuff and be a partner of the NBA. Like, we've got to be able to
cater to
service
all the
nationwide,
teams.
yeah.
Right, all
Right.
30
So when
teams.
you get a license, you automatically licensed for all the teams within that league.
Correct. The teams, yes. Now the players, you've got to go through a different. You've got to go through the NBA Players Association, which is a separate entity. So the NBPA. So if you but you can have agreements with both, and then you can bring the IP from the player IP and the team IP together and do a shirt. And then in that instance, you would have a royalty going to the NBA and a royalty going to the Players Association. So. But I think, our wholesale business was, I think, a key piece of getting these licenses because, you might have a wholesale buyer. If they're buying for the Phillies, they might also be buying for the Flyers. They might also be buying for the 76ers and other teams in that city. And so, you getting a relationship with one can kind of open the door for some others. And then you just over time build out these relationships, and like I said, with the wholesale,
it's a word of mouth too.
And like Fanatics does a lot of teams own their wholesale business, and they hire people directly within the team organization to
outsource,
merchandise the shop. Other teams will outsource it to someone like Fanatics. Like, hey, we don't want to run this, we'll pay you to run it, and so it becomes a Fanatics run team shop.
So how does Homage compete with all these other companies like Fanatics? How would you compare?
We work with Fanatics is a buyer for a lot of the team shops. Now, obviously, they do their own apparel, but then they'll buy from us too. So it's kind of interesting because we are competing with them, but we're also a partner of theirs too. So I think it's just there's room for both of us. Like, we're not necessarily in a position where we're going to put Fanatics out of business. Where where they're going to say, hey, like they're going to go up and talk to other team shops and put an exclusivity into their agreement where now maybe they do that with Nike. I don't know what the relationship is with, between the bigger apparel companies, but it is interesting where they're a competitor, but also, a partner of ours. But I think it's just, for us, I think we kind of keep our head down. We try to listen to the teams and what they're interested in from a storytelling perspective. We're not experts in every single market. We might know Ohio State and Cincinnati Bengals and Cleveland Guardians very well. We might not know the Milwaukee Brewers as much, but we can lean on the expertise of the teams, and they can, hey, we want designs for these players. These are players that are popular with our fan base. These are the logos that people like most. And they can give us kind of leads on where to go with some of the designs. And it's nice because then they're buying them for the team shop.
Exactly. And then, so they tell you what they want, you guys design them. So
there's that kind of built-in authenticity when you work with the team shops that helps us out it helps our graphics team out a lot when they're thinking about which way we want to take the graphics and what players are going on there, what's going to sell from a logo standpoint and things like that. So it's just, it's a lot of relationships. I think over the years, we've been fortunate to work with a lot of great organizations. And then, we worked very closely with the Cincinnati Bengals on a couple of projects. They were great advocates for us to the NFL to help us get an NFL license, to allow us to sell on our website, NFL product and all that. So like
and
there's
the
just
Browns.
Yeah, we've worked closely. Like we have a good relationship with the Browns too. I think that Browns relationship came a little bit later, but we've got a good relationship with the Browns. We don't have any active projects with them right now, but they've been a good partner over the years too.
Are you a Browns fan then?
I am. I mean, whatever you call it nowadays, I'm there.
By default.
I watch the games. Sometimes I make it to halftime. It's like, all right, I'm going to go out and rake the leaves. I'm crossing my fingers, but I grew up in Brovey Heights, so I'm born into all of this, like so many others.
Yeah.
I'm always one foot feels very in the optimistic camp. One foot's like
you're unsure.
Yeah, right. So
you spoke about authenticity. So what does authenticity mean in marketing today?
For marketing, that's a great question. Especially, I mean, everyone's
in the age of AI,
right? AI is
Yeah.
kind of coming in from so many different angles. It's just like this AI creep that is happening, which is it's going to find it'll shake out like any other new technology.
Yeah.
It'll find ways where it's really useful, and there'll be ways where it's maybe less useful. But right now, it feels like a little bit of a barrage. And we'll see how long that continues. I think, authenticity, I think, goes back to the storytelling, that I kind of mentioned earlier. That's a filter for a lot of what we do, not just like the products that we make, but we try to, and I don't work on the brand content side because that is not my wheelhouse by any means. I like more creative people. I'm a creative problem solver, but I'm not going to be sitting there thinking like, oh, this is going to be the next great marketing idea, or this is going to get people really engaged. Like, we've got people that are much smarter than I am who run those channels. But I do think they want to have an authentic voice. And I think, the storytelling really lends itself to that. I think, trying to reach out to influencer maybe is a generic term, but folks that have a voice in the space.
Yeah.
Beat reporters for different teams. We'll send products to them, try to create a relationship with them. To other creators that might be fans of different teams. Like, those are just good ways to access a lot of different fan bases.
Yeah.
And we'll spend our budget on paid ads to try to acquire new customers, and that is what it is. Like, it's a pay to play space, but it's a great way to target ads to people who are going to be receptive, hopefully, to them. I personally, I go to a website and you get ads and stuff like that. It's like, these are annoying, and I click out of them. But on the other hand, I know that we're doing
we
them,
do the same thing.
and I know we make money off of them. So it's like, all right, I just kind of have to,
I fall for it every day. Trust me.
So you just kind of have to swallow your pride a little bit there with some of those different strategies. But on the organic,
there's nothing wrong with doing that as long as you're exposing your brand.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
gotta do whatever you gotta do.
Right. I mean, that's the environment that has been created. We didn't create the environment. I don't think we're making it worse in any huge way. We're just kind of, playing by the rules that others before us have kind of laid out. But
we're talking about authenticity, and while we're talking about also building this brand, why do you think people connect so well with nostalgia?
That's a great question. I think it is all about, when I see certain things on a shirt, it just takes me to a certain time and place. I can tell you where I was when Rajay Davis hit the home run in the World Series that tied it. We went on to lose, but that's probably my favorite sports moment of all time. Even though we didn't win that game, but when you can tap into that energy that people have, around their sports teams, and you can, we're seeing it right now with the Knicks. You would think, okay, New York, they're not really sports fans there. It's such a big city, all this stuff. There are diehard New York Knicks fans, and they have spent a generation of not winning. Does New York need another championship? I don't know. I'm not going to, I root for who I root for, but I'm not going to put down people for rooting for their team.
Did you want New York to win?
It's a good question. From a business standpoint, we were there was more hype and more excitement. We were selling more Knicks products than we were Spurs products going into the finals. So from a business standpoint, it is good for us that the Knicks won because we would sell more stuff. Was I rooting for the Knicks?
Personally,
not
no
necessarily.
Business.
No,
Okay.
I couldn't. I had a hard time even rooting for the Bengals, and I like Joe Burrow. I had a hard time rooting for the Bengals when they went to the Super Bowl. It's Ohio team, it'd be good for the business, and then they kicked the ball off, and I was like, you know what? I think I want the Rams to win. It's just hard for me to get there, and I have a lot of friends, all my college roommates and stuff, seemingly from Cincinnati. So I have a lot of friends from Cincinnati.
Bengal fans.
And so I know what it meant to them. It's I can't say anything. The Browns have never even been to a Super Bowl. So
One day.
One day.
One day we're gonna get there, guys.
Maybe not this year, but one day.
Yeah.
So I'm around to see it.
So tell us what's next. What's next for Homage?
Oh, well, I think.
Well, other than like sport licenses, why don't you
Yeah.
talk about like the other licenses that you guys cover right now?
Yeah, I mean, pop culture has been a big. That's been a big endeavor over the last couple of years. So we have Ryan Reynolds' company, Maximum Effort. Like they're an investor. It's like a very small investor in Homage, and so they wanted to do Deadpool product when the Deadpool movie came out a couple of years ago. Well, that's a Disney license. We don't have a Disney license. And so they were able to kind of make that connection between our brand and Disney. And like Disney thus far has like the most of any license, the most boxes to check as far as like you need to do A through Z to be a licensor of Disney. It's just very thorough. It's a very thorough process. So it took a long time, but we got there and we were able to launch a Deadpool collection for that movie launch was a couple of years ago. So that was a big unlock, and Disney owns a ton of properties, and it's just like where you look at the portfolio, it's like where do you start?
Right.
So we started with Star Wars. We felt like that was a pretty accessible one, and there's movies in different there's the movies that came out in the 70s and 80s. There's movies that came out in the early 2000s.
And movies that came out now.
Yeah, so there's like multiple generations of Star Wars fans. It's not just something that came out 40 years ago. So that made a lot of sense to us. And then this summer we're trying to roll out some new graphics for different animated movies, Lion King, Aladdin.
Oh, that's exciting.
I love those.
I mean, there's just so many.
My
Sometimes
favorite
it's like,
Disney movies, honestly, Aladdin and Lion King.
Yeah, Aladdin Aladdin.
That's nostalgia
really
for me.
Yeah.
Like growing up in the
same.
90s,
Yeah.
like that's what I used
Aladdin, when I look back at like my favorite Disney movies.
Milan.
I definitely like Rescuers Down Under. That's probably
Which one's that one?
I don't have any idea when it came out. I think it was maybe late 80s, but it's the little mice, they go to Australia to save a bird.
Oh my God.
That's one of my favorite.
In the 90s, though. Beyond my time.
But that's a pretty, that's not.
Like nostalgia for you.
Well, it is for me, maybe
Yeah.
for other people, but like then Aladdin, the genie was, just the way the genie's character was was really cool.
Gotta love Aladdin.
And then we also have a licensing agreement with Warner Brothers. Again, there's just so much content that they have.
So when you have a license, let's say you said Disney, and they have all these different vertical avenues, right? Like Star Wars, the princesses, and beyond. Do you get access to all of those, or do you have to still go through a different avenue for each specific brand underneath the Disney umbrella?
Yeah, you've got to go through. So like Star Wars is its own thing within Disney.
Okay.
And then Simpsons is its own thing through Disney.
Okay.
With the animated movies, I'm not sure if I think there's Disney animated. I could be wrong. And that might give you, that having that piece in your agreement might give you access to a range of animated movies. I don't know because we also have Toy Story. I think it's just through like Disney.
Now you got Toy Story 5.
Yeah, so we launched some product ahead of Toy Story 5, which
Did
came
Taylor
out.
Swift wear some?
Taylor Swift has worn a hat of ours once.
I think I've seen a picture of Travis
The
wearing.
brothers. Yeah. That was a while ago,
Homage.
right?
Yeah, so we have a great relationship with Jason Kelsey, and then just also
Happened to be with
Travis.
Travis,
So we've had a long relationship with Jason Kelsey over the years, and then we did apparel for their podcast, New Heights, and then Taylor Swift wore a New Heights hat once and to Coachella, and that was again like someone took a picture and went online.
Also, their New Heights apparel is from you.
Some of it is, They have different apparel vendors, but we sell a small assortment of some of them. And we've been a partner with them since 2022, since partnered with New Heights.
Yeah. That's awesome. It's amazing.
But our relationship with the Kelsey brothers has been really good. And then of course they just kind of had a moment, and it's like, wow, like this is cool. Like we have this relation. Like you just never know. You form a relationship with some player or whatever, and then suddenly something just takes off years later. But so we try to do what we can when people reach out and create these relationships, because they just lead you to places you
just
might
never
not have.
know
Right,
what
exactly.
Happen.
So, with the pop culture licenses, like I said, we're we're trying to chip away at Disney and hit some of the things that we think really resonate with our audience. We could be doing Disney stuff for the next 40 years and probably not get to all of it. 'Cause there's just so much.
So much.
And like I said, Warner Brothers is another partnership of ours as well. We have a partnership with Peanuts. We have a partnership with, EA Sports, which has, the Madden license and things like that. So
That's incredible.
there's just a lot of different things. And a lot of times, it's just a matter of like, hey, what do we want to do? And then we identify some things and we send our licensing team out to go see what's realistic. Sometimes we don't hear back from anybody. Other times it's like, yeah, they want to work with us. It's like, okay, cool. Let's go do it. So
what about soccer with the World Cup?
Yeah, World Cup
now?
has been huge. And I've been
Especially now, being in the U.S. I'm actually going next weekend.
Oh, really? Okay,
I'm going to Philly.
Oh, it's in Philly. Awesome. You say
Croatia.
The next match is in here in a few minutes. Yeah. I would like to go to a match. Like going to like a Columbus Crew game downtown.
Oh, yeah. Do you like soccer?
I like
to call
watching
it football.
it.
I grew up overseas.
Yeah.
Football.
I like sports that are generally low scoring, which is I really like. Baseball is my favorite sport, and I like hockey a lot as well. I just think it's neat when it's like if it's 1-0, even if one team looks like they're dominating the match.
Yeah.
All it takes is that one goal to kind of spark a moment that you wouldn't have, even if you think the teams are one team overpowers the other. I like that a lot. I don't watch it regularly. When the Crew are in the playoffs, I'll definitely watch. When the Crew play Cincinnati, which is a big rivalry, I'll definitely watch. And then definitely World Cup, and I'll just watch whatever games is on.
Yeah. USA is on today, you guys, with Australia.
Yeah.
At 3 o'clock.
Other than the US,
here we are, 20 minutes.
Okay, so I like.
Who do you think is going to win?
Well, it seems like people are high on France.
Yeah.
And that game against Senegal was like, they were keeping it close, and then just France just all of a sudden.
Yeah.
It was
well,
just
they were
like,
in the final.
Just like that, they scored 3 goals. So people seem to think Germany is very good.
Germany, yeah.
And then people also seem to think England's very good. And I didn't realize England had only won one. They only had one. They've only won. They
always get very close.
Yeah.
They always get very very
they
close.
just played Croatia and they beat them. But
yeah. I was watching that. So I was rooting for Croatia.
Yes, me
Modric,
too.
I like him. So I like. This is probably a sport where I don't have outside of the U.S. I don't have like a set fandom. If Poland was in, being a Jaworski, if Poland was in, I would be rooting for them. I don't know how well known their soccer club is. Although I think they were pretty good, like in the late 2000s. I think they made a little run in the Euros.
Okay.
If I recall, but I think it's very exciting because it's low scoring and like it can always be close. It's not like a football game. If it's 35-7 at the end of the first half, it's like, all right, this game's over.
Right.
And it's like there's always with soccer, it's always close. There's always a chance for something really
so you
crazy
have to
happen.
watch it till the end.
Right. And then that's when the flurry of action can, if a team's like, all right, we're no holds barred, we're going full press here. Like it can get pretty exciting.
Yeah.
But the USA product has been crazy, and I've been telling people because I've been around the business for a while, and I know that like this excitement over the men's team has been pretty low the last couple of years because the team hasn't been as good. But I do remember when there was a lot of hype in 2014 around the team and how well sales were. It was like my second year with the company. I was telling folks this year, I was like, hey, I'm really bullish on like U.S. soccer. I think it's been a really good seller. And like our product team wasn't necessarily, forecasting a ton of sales for the men's team. And it's just, we've been slammed with U.S. And then once they won the first game and they won it decisively, it's just like the volume gets turned up a little bit more. They're favored to win today. We'll see what happens. But if they do, I think the volume, that I think guarantees them they'll advance to the knockout stage. So the volume will turn up even more on that. And it'll, like it was, if it weren't for the Knicks, and I won't say if it weren't for the Knicks, but like that was our top selling
product this year.
The product assortment was U.S. soccer. Like it was killing it. And then the Knicks just kind of overtook it when they won the finals, which
That's amazing.
Which good for them. But yeah,
good for you too.
Right. Yes.
Right,
as it turns out, it turned out to be good for us. So it's been fun, and it's just really cool, to just it's every 4 years, so it just makes it all the more special when you get to that.
Especially
moment,
being in the U.S. now, like that's amazing.
Yeah. So we'll see what they do. I mean, they looked really good. Obviously, Uruguay wasn't it's not like beating France 4-1, but
Right.
it wasn't. They weren't. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. So I'm
Yeah.
excited. I think there's some optimism.
We wish them
You
the
never
best
know.
of luck.
Yeah.
So tell us, like, okay, so all this success, you have, everyone sees the success behind everything, but tell us a moment behind the scenes where you thought to yourself that this might not work.
Yeah, well, there was a lot of growth and success. Like, there's a lot of behind the scenes things that have to evolve, and they have to, if you're growing quickly, that stuff has to evolve quickly, and that's kind of goes against like human nature, to just up and change one day. Growing pains, I guess, is what we would call them. And so, I think when we got some of the license, especially the NFL license, and immediately when that product goes live, it was like a switch was flipped for us. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, like this is real. Like the NFL fandom, and this is just what we see in sales. It's not my opinion on one sport or another. Like the NFL fandom is just far
insane.
ahead
Yeah,
of
yeah.
like NBA and MLB. Like
For
you
sure.
could put the two together and it would maybe add up to what the NFL business does. So when that happened, and it's like you've got to be there for all 32 teams. That puts a lot of like that is quickly going to find like the weak points
Yeah.
of how your current setup is and your current processes, and it's going to put a lot of pressure and stress on those. And you've just got to hold hands as a team
Yeah.
and figure it out together, because I'm not an expert in merchandising. I'm not an expert in inventory. I'm not an expert in print and
Yeah.
fulfillment.
Yeah.
But suddenly, like,
Someone else maybe.
someone
Yeah.
else, and someone has to be,
Right,
yeah.
someone else needs to like be an expert in those spaces
Yeah.
to make it work, because very quickly and it's just, like I said, it puts a lot of stressors on every aspect of your business when you are growing.
Especially scaling at that
Yeah,
capacity.
right. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
and then when you have that, and it just so happens the NFL season, you start to find out the teams that are really good right around the holidays, and so you've got the natural kind of organic holiday shopping on top of this fandom for like a team like the Lions a couple of years ago, or the Bills, or last year it was the Broncos. Like we didn't have the Broncos on our radar at all going into last year, and suddenly
So you
it's
have to
like
switch gears.
yeah, it's like suddenly it's like, hey, we're seeing the Broncos business just like surge to the top of all teams. Even like it's hard to, because we grew up in Ohio, like our Browns and Bengals fan bases are very strong. It's hard to beat those teams. And then the Eagles was another fan base of ours that's very strong, and they had just won the Super Bowl. And so to see the Broncos just jump to the top of the list, it's like that wasn't anything like we
On your
didn't.
radar.
You
we
didn't expect that,
right?
yeah.
And so now it's like a chase mode to
Fulfill.
satisfy like this demand for the Broncos business. And like I said, like when those things happen, it just puts a lot of pressure on the business, and it'll very quickly find the weak points and the things that don't work. And that when that happens in holiday, it can be compounded because you've got so much business that's going on, just people buying gifts for folks as it is. And so, yeah, you've got to figure out how to get orders out on time to people because they want their stuff immediately.
Right, yeah.
That's like, we can tell ourselves that we're not Amazon, but we can't tell the customer that because, Amazon kind of has set this expectation for,
Set the
I order
standard
today,
for-
I'll get it tomorrow or the day after. And it's just, we're trying, we're running
You're
as
trying
fast
to,
as we
like,
can to keep up. And
Yeah.
so, we just try to,
Hey, at least you're trying.
But other than like
we
being
are trying.
an e-commerce company, you guys also have retail stores, correct?
We have one retail store. Yeah,
One
we've
retail-
scaled back a lot over the years.
And that's where in Columbus.
It's in Columbus. Yeah, it's at Easton. And so, at one point we had 7 retail stores. It was just a lot of work. It was a lot of work to run stores.
Were they primarily in Ohio, or did you have some?
We had one in Pinecrest and Crocker Park up here in Northeast Ohio. We had 2 in Cincinnati, 2 in Columbus. We had a store very briefly in Pittsburgh and in Detroit as well. So those were the locations over the
Nice,
years
yeah.
that we've had. And it was fine, but it was just, we were finding a lot more success
Online, yeah.
And then just the paid advertisements could reach people without having a store, without having the overhead
I
of
mean,
a
you walk into
storefront.
malls today and they're like ghost towns, to
Empty.
be honest.
Yeah.
It's hard to get a footprint in malls, and especially in this coming age
Mm-hmm.
of Amazon and all online shopping, and then after COVID, no one really does anybody leave the house to go to the mall anymore?
Yeah, COVID. I mean, COVID was
true. No, you're right.
Yeah, I mean, COVID was. I mean, this is a weird anecdote, perhaps, but I worked at a radio station in Columbus, CD 101, 102.5. My heart. It was an independent radio station. We went out of business a few years ago, but I worked there for 10 years doing events, and I would go to shows, especially in concert season, so from like April through October-ish. It's like I would work a lot of shows and go to a lot of shows, and it would, I'd go to 2 shows a week in like I said, in peak concert season. And since COVID, it has been really difficult to find the motivation to go. That was my life for a long time, and extreme FOMO. If I had to work and there was a band coming to town that I liked, and I couldn't go, I would be a Debbie Downer for a week because I couldn't go.
I relate.
And it's just, I haven't found that same spark. And I think that translates to a lot of things, and it sucks because that's the livelihood of a lot of bands, restaurants and small business, or all of that stuff. And we've got to figure out a way to re-energize people to get back out there. But for us, like I said, the brick and mortar strategy, it wasn't gaining ground as fast as the .com strategy did for us. So it was tough. It was really tough to close because we had 2 stores in Columbus, and our first store was in the short north. And we closed that store back in March, I believe, of this year.
Really?
And I was that was our first child, I suppose.
Yeah. And, especially on the short north. I mean, that's a busy area.
Yeah.
College students hang around there.
Yeah.
Just downtown.
So to close that store, that is, that's definitely a chapter of our brand's history. That ended with the closing of that store. Even though we had closed some other stores before that, that was our first,
the one that
first
hit the
one.
heart the most.
You know what they say: when you close one door, another one opens.
Yeah, well,
here you are.
And I do feel like a lot of doors have opened, and we've tried to walk through as many as we can. Some maybe we shouldn't have walked through, and others,
But you learned.
You learned, right? Yeah. So it's we just try to.
Business has evolved.
Yeah. So we just we have followed. I mean, we're still. I mean, I think you, at the beginning, mentioned, hey, this is a national facing company. There are times where I feel that way, like the Knicks championship, reminding us, wow, we have this many Knicks fans. I wouldn't have thought that. There are other times where it does feel like we're, just an Ohio brand, an Ohio brand. When you look around, we still have a very small team.
Yeah.
We there's still people. There are definitely roles on our team that are filled by 1 or 2 people where you would think, oh, Homage, I'm surprised that they don't have one person doing that, and it's more of 3 or 4 people pitching in.
Collective effort.
Right. Yeah. So we are still that is still a mindset of ours. We're still a scrappy team with a scrappy mindset. And so,
how many total people, employees, you guys have?
That's a good question. Probably close to maybe 50, I would say. Okay. 35 to 50. If I started counting every individual person, it's probably in the neighborhood of 50. Okay. When we had a half dozen stores, we were probably closer to 160 if you counted all the different store teams. But we have a product team, a graphic development team, a merchandising team, the marketing team, our e-commerce team. So those are the core departments. I'm probably forgetting someone there listening. Why did our finance team as well. So we have our different departments and things like that, but it's still the mindset of our company. We still very much feel in our DNA a lot of times like a small brand. And so that limits, you can only pursue so many opportunities sometimes. And we've got there might be a really good opportunity, but there might be an even better one, and we might have to pick and choose where we're kind of putting our resources and energy. So you just cross your fingers you get it right, and if you don't, then you just gotta learn for it.
Seems like you guys are doing an amazing job. I mean, you guys are all working together, and it's
you mentioned you guys have a really good relationship with Travis Kelce.
Yes.
So do we see in the future Homage making Taylor Swift concert tees? Has that idea been
We'd
floated?
have to solve some production.
Now that they're becoming official,
Right.
you know.
Are you gonna poke through?
I would say this, if anyone ever asked us to do it, even if it was just like
Like a limited collection,
one shirt
yeah.
thing, and you
Yeah.
know, you've seen. I went to the Eras tour when it was in Cincinnati.
Did you actually?
Yeah.
How was it?
It was awesome. I would like. I have my favorite band is Pearl Jam. I've seen them 30 times. I've seen Taylor Swift, and Eddie Vedder is my hero. The Taylor Swift show was the best concert I had ever seen, and it wasn't even. I just really appreciated. I really thought the Eras concept was cool. And there's a couple of bands that I really like that I think, that would be a really good concert format for them to do.
Yeah.
Is to
Like
just
take
kind
it
of move
through.
through these different, bands that have, or musicians that have had long careers and, many lives or chapters within their, within their discography and stuff like that. Like, it would be really neat to see, like, as a
It goes
Pearl Jam-
back to storytelling.
yeah,
and
right, exactly.
nostalgia,
And so
right?
that really came
Yeah.
through in her concert.
Yeah.
And she's just a good performer. Like she
I mean,
plays.
she's insane.
And like you watch the behind the scene, like she's practicing singing while running on a treadmill, so she could.
I know. I can't
not
get
sound
over
like
that.
shit when she's
Yeah.
out of breath. Like
she would
that's a
sing
real
her
thing.
entire like song, everything she sang on the concert on the treadmill, so she can prepare. That's how she prepared. That's how she was
really?
able to stay healthy running a 3-hour show.
Yeah,
know
like
that.
you're running
That's
around, you're out of
crazy.
breath, and then
Yeah.
you're trying to sing, and like it probably won't sound.
That's
good. I've
kind of
seen-
crazy
yeah.
because I just ran a half marathon and there's no way in hell that I
congratulations.
can sit there and start singing.
Right, yeah. So like it like the
Props
craft.
to her. Good job, Taylor.
Yeah, the craft is
Hope you see
there.
this and come on the pod.
Will we do a shirt? If someone came to us and said, "Will Homage do a Taylor Swift shirt?" Yes, we would and you have permission to do it. We absolutely would do it. We'd have to solve some challenges on the production side to make sure we could meet the demand from the Swifties.
Oh yeah,
Nationwide,
Swifties are
but,
hardcore fans here.
But no, like we'll see what happens. Like
You know what I'm imagining and thinking about right now?
We all dream.
Unfiltered Brew shirt / Taylor Swift.
there you go.
And
She's sitting
Homage.
right in this chair.
All three, right here, all of us.
Hey, you never know.
Dreams do come true, you guys.
I mean, look, stuff happens,
Yeah.
right? And Travis is from here, and he's got a great relationship with the city. He's-
How amazing would that be if you came, if Travis came, if Taylor
Full
came?
circle moment.
It would be
Unfiltered
full-
Brew,
yeah.
like all
It would
from
be full
Cleveland. I mean, that would Cleveland would.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to welcome our. I mean, I feel like Travis and Jason are such, like they've become iconic people from the
Yeah.
city. We have to welcome their loved ones here as
Yeah.
well. So,
Absolutely. I love that.
but no, there's nothing on the. I can tell you right now, there's
Nothing on the radar.
There's nothing on the radar for that.
Yes,
so don't.
you have to.
I
Yeah,
can't-
you have to
Did I get-
manifest.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we can put the good energy out and see what happens. But
You can plant the seed. We
Yeah.
just planted the seed
We
for
did,
you.
you did, yeah.
you never know. You plant seeds and you see what grows.
Yeah.
That's my approach to, at least when I'm outside gardening. Is we
Yeah.
plant a bunch of stuff and see what does well.
And hope the deer doesn't eat it.
There was a deer in my yard yesterday that I had to chase away. It was munching on stuff. My brother went outside. He had an important call. He's like, "Hey, there's a deer in your backyard and it's eating the flowers." Like, oh man.
My mom always calls me. She's always complained. She's like, I can't stand these deer. Like they literally eat all my roses.
Yeah,
She
I like
freaks out.
looking at them, but if there's something that they want, they will find a way to go get
Oh,
it.
they will.
If there was one collaboration that you would love to have, like who would it be with, or what company, what brand?
We kind of hit on
Celebrity.
it already. For me personally, and I can't speak for.
Is it Star Wars?
No, it would be something to do with like doing merch for Pearl Jam or
Okay.
doing something with them. It
Yeah.
would be
Red
definitely
Hot
be
Chili
that.
Peppers.
I wouldn't say no to if Anthony Kiedis came and said, "Hey, what are you guys working on?" I wouldn't say no.
Anthony,
to
you hear
doing
this?
Some stuff. Is that whose band is
I
that?
love
Oh,
Red
yeah,
Hot
you said
Chili
Anthony
Peppers,
Kiedis.
yeah.
Oh, yes. Yes, if he came around and wanted to do something, even if he was just wearing a single sock, I would say yes.
He always
which
takes
maybe
his
would
shirt
be-
off anyways
Yeah,
when he
right.
performs.
It's got a little
But he
J.R.
does have
Smith
the
in
nice
him.
socks. He always
Yes.
has the nice socks.
But that would be my dream. I can't speak for anyone else at the company. But yes, that would be awesome. Yeah. But we'll see. You never know. Like you said, it's out there in the universe. Stranger things have happened. So who knows?
Should we do a little rapid fire with them?
You just beat me to it. Let's do it.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right, I'll try
Okay,
to be.
I'll start and then you
I'll try
can-
to be brief.
Okay.
If this is rapid fire, I'll give you just
Nike or Adidas?
Nike.
Favorite Homage current collection?
Anything with the Guardians. That's my favorite team. So
Indians.
Yeah. Indians, Guardians. We have both on the website. You can choose which you prefer.
Yeah.
Cleveland Browns or the Cavaliers?
Browns. Only because the Cavs had won recently, so now it's like now it's the Browns' turn. Although it's been their turn for 10 years, and so maybe it'll be their turn. I might be waiting for a long time. That's a tough one.
What's one trend that deserves a comeback?
Oh man, maybe chain wallets. Maybe it has already
really?
come back.
Okay.
I don't know. That was really big when I was in
wallets.
when I was in eighth
Wow.
grade. That was a big thing.
wild.
I mean, have them like hanging from your jeans, right?
Not like the crate. Like you don't need like 20 of them. Just some, just something
Honestly,
classy.
I think chains are making a comeback in general for girls.
Yeah. Like the
wear,
belts.
like the
Yeah,
belt
yeah,
chain.
yeah.
Like I wore one for the fashion
Yeah.
show.
And I have
And
no
it looks
idea
so
what the trends are.
Nora's
so I-
bringing back the
the chain belts.
90s belts.
Yeah.
And
it might have already come back and
Yeah.
gone away again, and I might have missed it.
Speaking of all the things, I just want to take a moment just to say, I think millennials were like the last people to think about, like, have the nostalgia and all these things, you know, like the belts and the wallets and the phones, like the razors.
Oh,
And
yes, the
I
razor.
think
That was a big deal.
It's kind of beautiful to have those memories.
Yeah.
I don't think
Well,
the next generation is going to really.
We'll see what they find. Hopefully, it's like physical, tangible things, and not too digital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we'll see what they come up with.
Yeah.
I'll give them a chance.
One
and-
last one. One celebrity you'd love to see wearing Homage. Out of
That's a
all
good
the
one.
celebrities in the world, one celebrity.
Man, I don't pay attention to too much of like celebrity culture. I couldn't tell you who's dating who or what. Oy vey, that's a good one. I can't keep using Eddie Vedder for my answers, and I do have a picture of him wearing an Homage shirt, so so maybe that one's already
Yeah, he's already-
checked off
yeah.
off the list. Man, I'm thinking of movie people, and I just don't know. I'm not trying to like give
It's
you
okay. You're
a
fine.
cop out
yeah.
answer. It's just these are the questions
Take
that are
your
hard to think of. I don't know why Russell Crowe popped in my head just now, but he was
Russell Crowe,
an actor I really liked when I was a kid because he was in Gladiator.
Hey, it's never too
like a-
late.
Okay, whatever.
Not a
You
very
gotta trust
good-
your instinct.
There's
You gotta
no
go
like
with
real reason for it. I just liked him when I was a kid. I'm trying to think of other movie stars that I.
Will
Ferrell would be good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good one. Yeah.
Will Ferrell's a good one.
While hosting SNL.
Maybe
Right?
maybe Marcello from SNL. He's like
he's up and coming.
hilarious, and I just anytime he's on screen, I just feel like I'm laughing. So
He's on our like wish list.
Okay.
Online. We've
Yeah.
reached out to him actually, so we're gonna keep.
I'll go
going.
Check
with-
your DMs, please.
I'll go with that one for now.
I love that.
Yeah, he's just very funny.
And he went to.
Oh, that's right.
BW.
John Carroll. Yeah,
John
that's
Carroll.
right.
Yeah.
Yes,
He's also has
the
high
Cleveland
school.
connection.
Oh, there you go.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah.
He's already got a foot in the door. We just gotta get the rest of them.
Yeah,
get him
he's
in.
just
Pull him
gotta
in.
check his DMs and respond to
Yeah.
us.
He's hilarious when they did the emoji thing for the weekend update. This was like a month or two ago.
I don't think I've seen that.
I hadn't laughed that hard in so long. So it's a weekend update segment, and he's acting as an emoji, and one of the other guys is another emoji, and they're talking about which one's better.
I gotta look that one up.
With that.
Now I say that, and you're gonna go watch
We
it.
come in
Like,
here and put like emoji heads in.
but I hadn't laughed that hard in a long time.
My favorite piece, one of my favorite pieces that he's done is the one where he imitates Sebastian Maniscalco on SNL.
Oh, yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my
yeah.
God, that he did him so well. And his mannerisms, the way he spoke.
Yes, that was a good one.
such a
Yeah,
cool
I feel like a lot of comedians are very good at just picking up on those subtle mannerisms and just drives home
Yeah.
the impression. It's more than just sounding like them, but then they have the little ticks.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe Pedro Pascal. Now that we're thinking,
There you go.
that might be someone I
Yeah.
would like to see
Yeah.
in an Homage shirt. He was my favorite character in Game of Thrones. R.I.P. Oberyn. over in Martel.
Amazing.
Didn't make it.
Well, you know
Got his
what?
head popped.
They're all going to wear
I actually
it
never
one
watched
day.
Game of Thrones. I've seen scenes because my sister watched it, but I hear a lot about it. But I do love Pedro Pascal from his recent
You know
work.
what? It's funny about that show too. It took me a while to get into it. I was watching it as it was coming out, but I was just like casually watching it, so. And then around season 4, and that was his season.
You know that was filmed in Croatia.
Oh, right, yes, in Dubrovnik.
Croatia,
Yes,
yeah.
and they had a huge...
She's Croatian. If you
Oh,
haven't
you are Croatian?
if you
Okay.
haven't picked up on her.
No, I mean, well, I mentioned
I'm
earlier that I
very
was...
proud of my culture and my country.
The next trip overseas, I would either want to go to Kyoto in Japan or to go to Croatia and along the Adriatic Sea.
There you go.
I'm very into geography and world history, and Croatia comes up quite a bit.
Yeah,
as
you
far as
should.
its place.
She hasn't been yet, and I keep pushing her. I'm like, oh.
Well, we were supposed to do that this year, but then the wedding kind of got in the way. Not my wedding.
Well, you know what? We're gonna go on a brand trip to Croatia soon.
There you go.
If you need some Homage shirts to wear while you were there,
Hey,
let me know. Or if you need some Homage
We will
shirts
not
to
say
wear
no. We're gonna
around
talk to you
Cleveland.
after
We're
this.
not gonna say no. She's right. Yeah.
Okay. No, Croatia looks beautiful. I would love to go, and it is on the short list of places that I would like to see. So glad you've been able to go.
Yeah,
Amazing.
it's exciting. Well, thank you, Mark, so much for
That was
joining
great.
us today. I hope you
Mark.
A lot of fun.
enjoyed.
No,
Thank
it's
you.
just chatting about the
Yeah.
brand. I'm a fan of the brand, even though I work there. It maybe sounds a little lame, but it is fun. It is
No,
fun
we
to
can
chat
tell
about.
it's
through the
amazing,
passion,
yeah.
through what you talked about today, and the company's very lucky. Ryan
Vessler,
Vessler,
Yeah.
the CEO of Homage, is very lucky to have you part of his team.
Oh, well, I'll tell him that you said that,
Yeah.
or he will. He'll
He'll
see
see
it.
her listening.
He will
Yeah,
see it
Ryan.
himself. No, Ryan's
Ryan,
awesome, and he's got us here through.
The man needs a raise, Ryan.
I didn't say it, but I won't say no.
No, it sounds like you guys have a really, really amazing thing going.
I'm glad you feel that way about us. It's been a wild ride. Thankful for everyone that's a part of it. All the customers that say that they bought something at ComFest back in 2007, all the way up to people that are just getting stuff for the upcoming brown season. Whatever and everything in between. So,
And hey, maybe
Thanks
an
for having us
Unfiltered
here.
Brew collab
Yes.
coming soon.
Yes.
email me some ideas,
Manifesting.
and we will figure out how to put it all together. So.
Awesome. Thank you
Thank
so much.
you. Thank you
Thanks.
so much.
Thank
No, I appreciate it.
Thank you guys. And just remember to subscribe, follow, share on all the platforms, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook,
Spotify,
Apple,
all the above.
all the above. We love you and thank you.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.